Good afternoon. Today I was listening to the interview on the hot seat with Zach Chavula on Hot FM, and the issue of privatization came up. Edith Nawakwi, refuted that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema did explain how he got rich. This was in reaction to the interview that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema had with that pastor. I don't know if it is Pastor who. There is that online channel where HH was interviewed. And the previous clip, the clip where, Mpo asked him about that, you remember that old clip, was played. There is another clip which was played on Alik Dangote, and then HH went on to explain supposedly how you got rich. And today Nawakwi, after that interview, a lot of UPNDs, they have been circulating that video that HH has explained how he got rich. And Nawakwi today refused that no, HH didn't explain. And from my point of view, as one of the persons that has followed this issue, I've really followed this issue, and I must say that I'm one of those loud voices in as far as HH's wealth is concerned. Because for me, I don't talk about this issue from a political point of view. I talk about this issue out of experience. I am one of those people who felt the pain of privatization. My father was doing business at that time, supplying some pressure valves to the mine. And when the mine just went under, we lost everything, and it was just very difficult. Very, very difficult. So I know the pain. I know a number of people that had jobs during that time. One of my friends, Vashchireshe, whose son I was talking to just the other day, Vashchireshe used to work for monetary fund, for monetary printing. He used to bring books and so on and so forth. There are many people that I knew during that time. And when that privatization came in, how things just changed. Some of the people here in Lusaka, I know some people who have come to me complaining how they were kicked out of the houses and so on and so forth. So I am telling you, for me, this issue is not just political. It comes from a very strong part of me. I don't know if I should say, I don't know how I can put it, but a strong experience, a vivid experience which I went through. I know the pain of privatization. It was not nice, I'm telling you. It wasn't nice. Some of you are young this time around, and you don't know really what people went through. It was bad. It was, like the whole compound. You have people losing jobs. And from nowhere, you have these people coming saying, no, move out of the house, because the house has to be sold by the liquidators and so on and so forth. It wasn't nice. So afterwards, of course, I didn't know HH by then. I didn't know HH. But where this time around, I've come to know HH, and seeing him looking so rich. And, in as much as I may not have interacted with HH directly, okay, and my situation would not have maybe influenced by HH directly. But for me today, when I look at HH, is a figurative figure, is a figurative or is an embodiment of the people that got rich out of privatization. When I look at HH, I just see this man is one of those people that caused all that suffering. That's how I look at him. That's how I look at him. I look at him just like that. Forget about the politics. Forget about, no, you're paid by, forget about all that. I felt the pain where my father just lost everything. And at the end of the day, he had to go and live, in the farms Kukasenge, okay? And later on he died. Not a very good death. I mean, it's really painful. It's really painful. So when I look at HH, this is how I strongly feel about him. It has got nothing to do with tribe. Nothing. Like some of you say, no. It has got nothing to do with tribe. Nothing. I have nothing against the Tongas. No, I have issues with HH because this is the man that I've found with evidence that indeed this man benefited out of privatization. Of course, I do agree that it is not only HH. It is not only HH. Other people also benefited. And for me, Vamaewa and Nawakwi, spoke strongly about it, but I still hold them. I still hold Vanawakwi responsible as well. I still hold Vanawakwi responsible because they were the ones who were in charge. You know, HH has been bragging that they were sleeping. HH is bragging. He was bragging to say, when I was getting these things, where were they? They were sleeping. And indeed they were sleeping. And for me, Vanawakwi and all the other people who were in government at that point in time, I hold them accountable because they were sleeping. When HH was taking advantage of the situation, they were sleeping. They caused HH, to help himself from whatever was available. I hold them responsible. For me, Vamaewa and Nawakwi, I hold you responsible by the very fact that you never took HH on. Now, here we are suffering because of HH. Me, I can tell you that personally, I'm telling you that I've suffered because of that privatization policy, because of what HH was doing. I can say that. I can say that. If you were not affected, that's fine. But for me, I suffered for it. And when I see HH, when I look at that big house, I just see the money that they got from this. Now, many times people have been saying, no, why don't you take HH? Why don't you take HH to court? Why don't you report HH and so on and so forth? The problem was already created. The negligence was created by those people who were in power at that time. It's very difficult today, to get the evidence. It is very difficult. The people that should have done that, it's the Venanawakwi, they should have done that. But they didn't do it. So now we are in problems. It's very difficult for me. I wish I can get hold on some evidence of some kind to prosecute HH. I would really love to. But then you would say, okay, no, so you have no evidence. No, the issue is in that question, how did you get rich? HH has never explained. And you are UPND who has been tagging me in that video. There is nothing that HH has said to explain or justify his wealth. There is nothing. And here are the issues that were raised by Vamaewa and Nawakwi today. She raised an issue to say, when you were selling, Intercontinental Livingston, what is that? Sun Hotel in Livingston. We saw that that hotel could have fetched for more than the 6 million that HH sold it at. HH undervalued the properties that he was given to sell. He undervalued, like Sun Hotel, he undervalued that. He undervalued by UPND. Shut up. Stop talking. Here is the issue. The issue is that HH undervalued that. And because he undervalued that, it is difficult. How are we going to take him to court for deliberately undervaluing a company? Because he had a contract. And when he gave Vananawaki, like she said, they just accepted. They should have taken him on. They should have asked for other bidders. Who are other bidders? What is the value? They should have done something more than just to sit back. So the crime that I hold HH for, which unfortunately it is not in the penal code, is the fact that he undervalued the properties that he was meant to sell. And A good example is, of course, Sunny Hotel. It's, of course, Limaberg. It's, of course, Ramco's that Vananawaki spoke about today. HH cannot tell us that the price that he sold that hotel was the true price. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. And yes, look, HH, after he sold that company at he sold the Sunny Hotel at 6 million. Next is the chairman, is part of the directors. Next is part of the directors. Can HH explain this? Remember you PND who talk nonsense about this. Can HH explain how come he undervalued the hotel and later on is part of the shareholders? How? What more do you want for us to prove to you that this man is not straight? This man is crooked in his dealings. It's crookedness, the manner that he did, that whereby, you know, you are supposed to evaluate this thing, you evaluate it, and later on you find yourself to be owning it. That is crooked, in my opinion. That is crooked, in my opinion. In my opinion, that is crookedness. That is crookedness. Yes, you are right. Jovena Teddy, that is sharp. Yes, he's sharp. But of course, being sharp and being crooked, there is a very thin line there. So from my point of view, I hold him responsible. That is number one. Then when Anawaki spoke about that house at Sebo Road. Yes, I remember HH did explain about how he acquired that house. He said some Muzungu bought it. And then he bought from that Muzungu. Come on, we know these things. We know these things. HH cannot fool me over that. I mean, these things happen. You put someone in front to buy it cheaply, and later on you get it from him. Who knows? Maybe that Muzungu, it's actually HH who told him to go and buy it. Because that house belonged to Limaberg. It belonged to Limaberg, and then some Muzungu bought it, and HH bought it from that Muzungu. That's what he says. But we know these things, how these things are done. We know how these things are done. You raise a lot of questions just there. So then you talk about Ramco's. I mean, same things. The valuation that came from there and the price at which they sold, is it really the right price? So from my point of view, HH, no matter how much he can try to justify himself. And okay, let's imagine, let's just say, okay, he did a good job and he was paid. How much was he paid? How much was he paid? How much was HH paid out of all the job that he did? Tell me, how much did HH get paid? How much was he paid? How much was he paid for him to be rich up to where he is today? How much? Because I can tell you, I've been in business. It is, even if today, you who are watching, today I come to you, I give you 1 million kwacha. 1 million kwacha. And I tell you that in 10 years, I want to find that you have got 10 million. It's highly unlikely that you will succeed. It's highly unlikely that you have 10 million kwacha. Today you have 1 million kwacha. 10 years later, it's highly unlikely that you have 10 million kwacha. Meaning making profit 1 million a year. It is not likely. It is not likely. Most of the times on investment, the returns on investment, if the business is good, most of the times you are getting about 30%. Most of the times. A legitimate business, you invest 30 million kwacha. Your return on that investment, your profit, if I could put it that way, most likely it's usually 30%. 30%. It is not so easy to invest 1 million and in 10 years you have 10 million kwacha. It's not easy. One good example I can give you is a house. Is a house, if for example you say you have got 1 million kwacha, most of this I say, okay, buy a house. I've got, here is 1 million kwacha, invest it. What are you going to buy? You might say, let me buy a house. And you put that house on rent. You will not get 10 million kwacha within 10 years. Even if you say, no, I'm going to buy a truck. Or I'm going to buy a bus. You will not get 10 million kwacha within 10 years. Even if you say, no, I'm going to buy cows. I mean, how many months, what is the gestation period of a cow to deliver? So if I buy 6 cows today, in 10 years, how many cows am I going to have? Can I have thousands of them? Is it possible? I buy 6 cows today. In 10 years, can I have 10,000 cows? It's not possible. It's not possible. So all these things that HH tried to justify, this is, it's nonsense. It doesn't hold water. It doesn't hold water. The best that this man should do, it's like the suggestion that Wananaoki said, that, you know, all of us, we have got closets. And sometimes you need to come out to say, you know, there are certain things that I did when I was young. And maybe HH should do that. Should do that to say, no, you know what? I was young. I was ambitious at that point. But now, I want to help people. I want to help people. And as a sign of repentance, I'm going to set up this orphanage. I'm going to build this hospital. I'm going to build these schools. Not those 5-room classes that he has been building. He has got too much money. He can do that to say, look, this is how much I'm worth, but I'm going to give 50%, like the story of Zacchaeus in the Bible. This is what Jesus Christ, what I'm saying here, it's what Jesus Christ told Zacchaeus. When Zacchaeus was, came to before Jesus, he used to get more, like HH. HH was given a job, which is a legitimate job. Just like Zacchaeus, being a taxpayer, is a legitimate job. Being a tax collector is a legitimate job. Just like Mdala and Kingsley Chanda. The job that he does is legitimate. But if he overstretches, he starts stealing, then it becomes bad. Like Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was employed, but he started doing something else. And when he met Jesus, Jesus told him to say, you know, salvation has come to you. And Zacchaeus gave half of what he had to people that he stole from. HH should do the same. HH should do the same. If only HH today, if he wants to rule this country, he need to humble himself. He should stop arguing with us, trying to tell us something which doesn't even make sense. No, I went into agriculture, I bought 6 cows at Chamba Valley. What? It doesn't hold water. We can see through you. We can see through you by HH. No, I deny myself. Yes, which is good for business. But still, business doesn't operate like that. In business, you know, you can't make so much money within a short time. No. Fiakanika. So the best that you should do by HH, ask for forgiveness from the Zambian people. Ask for forgiveness from the Zambian people. I'm sorry for being involved in privatization and taking advantage of the situation because Avena Nawaki Bali Lala. He took advantage because Bali Lala. And we should hold them responsible. We hold you, Wananawakwi, and everybody else who was involved. We hold you responsible for sleeping, allowing HH. So you should all apologize. Apologize, and for HH, you should apologize, and after apologizing, he should give back 50% of what he owns to the Zambian people. Not to me, to the Zambian people. Through charity, there are a lot of people that are suffering. Let him create an HH empowerment. HH empowerment, like the way Edgar Lungu has done. He can compete with that. And I'm telling you, this can win him elections. Believe you me, if today HH would come up to say, you know what, I'm sorry for participating in privatization and everything I got from there, but I want to share what I have with the poor so that you see that I love you. Not you say I love you and you are just busy enjoying muchianda kwati nankane kwati chianda chakwa shetani where he keeps all the Lucifers. You can't convince, at least for me, HH can never convince me. Him living that luxurious life, flamboyant life, and he tells me that he cares for the poor. When all along he has never been seen doing any charity work, in spite of all that money that he has. And today you want to say, no, I care for the Zambian people. No, What he wants is an opportunity. That opportunity he talks about is not an opportunity for Zambians. It's an opportunity for himself. Because if it is an opportunity for Zambians, he would have created opportunity with what he has. With what he has. Now, Happy today touched on, a grazing land, communal land. It is true. I know even somewhere where my mother is, somewhere this side, HH has got a ranch. And his cows, they go out grazing in communal land. They just go out grazing. They just open for them grazing. And there are people who are just, shepherding them. But Nawak made a very good point that, a commercial farmer is supposed to have the grass for the cows to graze, not allowing the thousands of cows going out to graze in communal land. That is not right. That is not right. And we have heard so many people who have been complaining. Recently, we were in Namwala there. There were those people who were complaining how HH got them out of their farms. He kicked them out of their farms. He grabbed the lands. HH is notorious of grabbing land. A lot of people have been talking about him, that he has been grabbing land. In many areas, HH is mentioned grabbing land. And surely, that is not the leadership. That is not a person who cares for the poor. He's not a person that will care for the poor. HH doesn't care for the poor. And for me, I am for the poor. Me, I am for the poor. And on that part, the rich people are not so much my friends unless I really see that they have got a heart for the poor. Unless I see that they have got a heart for the poor. Otherwise, HH doesn't have a heart for the poor. He doesn't have the heart for the poor. When he's giving out, he's buying votes. He gives out to get votes. He doesn't give out because he has felt compassionate. No. He gives out because he wants the votes. That's all. That's all. And all these things I'm saying, it's not about tribalism. It's about the character of this individual. I know a lot of Tongas who are good people. A lot of Tongas who have helped me. A lot of Tongas, I've seen a lot of Tongas who have helped other people. So many people. They are very good Tongas. And Tongas are very good people. When you are visiting them, you go into their homes. You can't go, I used to get to buy fish, in Mazabuka there. I used to buy fish in Mazabuka and Monze. You can't visit a home of a Tonga person and you go away without eating anything. They will make you sit down, until they give you something. It's either milk and something. They have to give you something. They are good people. When you talk about women, by the way, look at how Mao Sampa is glowing because of a Tonga woman. They are very good people. Very, very good people. I have met them. Believe me, I've met them. I've met their families. They are good people. So it's not about Tonga. It's about the character of this HH. And the character of HH can be found anywhere. He can be Bemba, he can be Namwanga, he can be Nyanja, he can be anything. It is just the character of a person. So forget about tribalism. No, it's not about tribalism. It's about HH. It's not Tonga that went to privatize companies. It's not Tonga that grabbed things from Zambian people. It is HH, and it's HH that I'm talking about. And the solution for me, I can accept HH if only he can humble himself, ask for forgiveness, and give at least half of what he has to the Zambian people. If he can start today by 2021, if he can apologize today and start that HH empowerment, giving back to the poor. People are suffering now. This is the best time to help people. Not is Bali will fix it, but now now and Bali will fix it. How can you say you want to help when you are sleeping on a mattress full of dollars? Because in this room I'm in, it can be filled with just dollars. That's the kind of money HH has. And yet he walks out. 50 kwacha. 50 kwacha. Even at my press conference that journalists come. When he's giving that transport refund, 50 kwacha. Ngapela 100 kwacha, it's a lot of money. No. Look at his people that are around HH. Look at his bodyguards. Look at his drivers. Eh? They can't speak because they want the jobs, but clearly those people don't live a good life. Like some people who are living around the president. It's not. That man is rich. It's rich. But I can tell you, I think some of the people who are even working for me, I challenge you so. The people who are working for me, at least in my house, they get more money than HH pays for them. The people that cook for me, at least I pay them more than what HH pays. In my poverty, but I can tell you that I pay more than what HH pays for the person that sweeps his bedroom. I pay more because I am for the poor, but HH is not for the poor. So by HH, in just tema politics, I think you need to do something. Apologize to the Zambian people. Stop hoodwinking us. Hey, no investment. What investment? What was returned? How much money? Twalishiva Dangote, how much money he got? Twalishiva Donald Trump, how much money he got? And how you invested it and how it has grown. For you, what was your investment? Privatization, they paid you. How much did they pay you? Let's work out the maths. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. Just apologize, Baba. Apologize. Apologize and then do some charity work. Create an HH empowerment. The way Edgar Lungu has created Edgar Lungu empowerment, Chagwa Fund. Now you then create HH empowerment so that Zambian people can benefit. 2021, you can be lucky, they can vote for you. Otherwise, and some of us who work, I know some of you, by you PND, you are working very hard to frustrate me. I know to my plan in Donfwa. I also have intelligence within amongst yourselves. They tell me that you are trying to fix me, but you cannot fix me. I want to assure you that you can't fix me. Ndi mwana wako alese unsunga so tamwaka nkwanishe. And as far as I'm concerned, as long as HH does not apologize, as long as HH does not give back what he got from the Zambian people, there is no way I'm going to support him. I will never support him. I would rather support Valungu. It's okay. He's a better evil than your HH. Edgar Lungu is far better. He's far better because Kuri Valungu. Nangu ifefi nemulanda teo shan ngo wapitana benga waliamo muri HH muri Edgar Lungu muri HH nani uliamo even wa bodyguard bakweta baliamo but muri Valungu balaliamo mwe batilu shan imwe kwato mtima nangule we muntu nangule iba but ngala kwato mtima unsuma some at least people can even sympathize with you number waiba. But still more for now, we muntu awe take a guy. Nah.